Hi there! Welcome to another episode of Next Stop at Coolidge Public Library. Today we're exploring the Coolidge City block. We're going all around Coolidge and learning about the city buildings. We're going to City Hall, Developmental Services, the Court, Public Works, the Water and Waste Department, Parks and Recreation, and even the Water Tower. So come on, let's get started and see all these places in Coolidge. So today we're going to go through the whole city block of Coolidge, and we have our city manager, Rick Miller, here to show us around. Thanks for being here, Rick.
You bet. I'm really happy to be here. This is a beautiful day in Coolidge, and thanks for coming. And it'd be great to show you around city, the services that we provide. And right now we're standing right here in front of City Hall, and this is where most of the city business is transacted. This is where you pay your sewer and trash bill and come to talk to me if you have a concern or an issue with the city. I'm more than happy to talk to you about those issues. Our mayor has his office days here, and we're just a good group of people in here working for the city, and they're very good stewards of taxpayers' funds. We're very conservative in what we do here. We want to make sure we use those funds appropriately, providing the services that the citizens of Coolidge expect. So let's go inside and take a look. So as you come into City Hall, this is the first window you come up to. This is where you pay your sewer and trash bill. You're greeted by some very friendly people here that work for the city. Right now we have Mariah up here in front, and she's been a relatively new employee but does a great service to the city and to the citizens, and we're really happy to have her working for the City of Coolidge. So this is where you come and pay your sewer and trash bill, or if you want to make an appointment with the mayor or myself, any of the businesses that you need, you can come here and ask for those services. Sorry. This is part of our finance team right here. This is where a lot of our reconciliation is done with our bank statements. We have a great worker here in Kaylee. Kaylee, wave.
Hello.
Kaylee's been with the city for a while. She started out really at the front counter where Mariah is greeting customers, and now she's moved up into a position of reconciliation of our bank statements with the billings. So Kaylee does a great job for the city. And right here, you couldn't see her through the window a while ago, but this is Mariah. Mariah, she's just a happy face. She's the face of City Hall when you come in and pay your bills, and this is a very important position right here. People that come in, this is their first exposure to the City of Coolidge, to our staff, and we really have a person here that can really brighten a person's day and answer the questions. Some people come in here maybe a little concerned about a billing, and we ask you to be patient. We have a very patient person here that will help you through issues when you have them, but it's great to have Mariah as part of our team here in the finance department.
Hi guys.
Okay, and this is another part of the city finance team over here, and our human resources. Right here we have Bridget. Bridget just received her bachelor's degree in business, and very proud of her for the work that she did while she was working here full-time. She obtained her degree from the University of Phoenix. Great to see our people receiving those degrees and furthering their education. She's a great part of our human resource team, and is responsible for evaluating, sending out notices of vacancies and taking in applications and processing those applications, and new employees. Bridget, you're a great part of our team. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And then on the other side of this very small space here, and as I said, we're excellent stewards of the taxpayers' dollars. We're in an old building, and we're making the best of it that we can. But in this small area, we have Mary over here. Mary handles a lot of our grants. We're a city that relies heavily on grants, and she works with housing grants, housing rehab grants, any other grant application that the city pursues. Mary's responsible for administering those grant applications and making sure that we're compliant with those grant requirements. Mary, say hi.
Hi.
All right. Over here, this is one of the smiling, one of the person that smiles the most in our city here, Charlene. Charlene was at the front counter where Mariah was last. Mariah came on board to fill her vacancy. Charlene moved up into a position here within the city finance department, handles a lot of our billings and processes purchase orders and all of those things. And Charlene's just a great team worker here in the city finance department. We appreciate her and all of her efforts and a very positive attitude. It's great working with Charlene. This is Norma Ortiz. Norma has been here with the city for many years. How many
37 years.
37 years. Norma is the person that I go to for anything that I need. I mean, Norma has information. She's got a tremendous wealth of knowledge working for the city all of these years. She started pretty much right out of high school.
That's correct.
Went into the city, worked in the finance department, worked, where else did you work, Norma?
Data entry, sort of like computer, and then finance, then city clerk, and I've been here, and like I said, I'm on my 37th year. I'm completing my 37th year. We'll be starting my 38th year, June 1st.
You know, it's employees like Norma that make my job a lot easier. Norma is just a great team player.
Thank you, Rick.
She has tremendous knowledge about the city. You know, she really, truthfully, she's really like the city manager. She really actually does the place. You know, when I'm gone, I asked Norma to serve as the acting city manager in my absence, and just because of her ability and her knowledge and her personality, she's just got a great personality. We really appreciate her and all the things that she does for the city.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So we're walking across behind City Hall. Off to the right we have the fire station, and then right behind City Hall over here we have our Development Services Department. This is where our Building Inspection Department is, our Planning and Zoning Department, Animal Control, and Code Enforcement. So we'll go over here. You can see this is a modular building. It was given to the city many years ago, and it's been in good use. But it's again one of those things that we do to be fiscally responsible. You know, rather than pay a lot of money for new buildings, sometimes a city of our size has to make do with what we have. And so, you know, one day, hopefully, as the city grows, we'll see a new building for this office over here, this important part of the city. Here at the entrance of our Development Services Department, we have our permitting, our planning, our Building Safety Department, Code Enforcement, and really one of the key leaders in our community when it comes to economic development is Gilbert Lopez. Hopefully he's here. We'll be able to introduce you to him. But he does a lot of work for the city, was formerly a vice mayor and was on the city council for a number of years, and we were fortunate to get Gilbert to work as a city employee. He came here from Glendale, comes with a vast knowledge, lots of experience, is a really good person, and hopefully he's in here and we'll be able to meet him today. So when you come into the Development Services Department here behind City Hall, this is our front counter. Our two people that work at the front counter of the Development Services Department are Brittany and Carol. I don't know if Carol is behind you there. Is she there?
She's out.
Oh, she's out today? Okay. But Brittany, she actually does a lot of the work here, answers a lot of the phone calls. People that are looking for information about their building permits or any general information for that matter regarding development services. Brittany helps with that. She's a great person, been around. She's from Coolidge, right?
Yes, I am.
Brittany, wave back there. It's kind of hard to see you through the plexiglass. But this is, like I said, an older modular building. You know, I wish we had a newer facility for these employees to work out of. You know, one of the fun things about this building is the floor really creaks really loud. And I'll show you in this room in here, really where we have a lot of our development team meetings. We have utility companies, industrial prospects, other prospects that come in here and look at mapping, look at development requirements, so that we can help them through that process and facilitate some of the growth and activity that's going on here in the community of Coolidge. All right, this is our Development Services Conference Room. We have a large screen TV here. We have one of the best geographic information systems managers in the whole state, as far as I'm concerned. And Tim Hansen, he used to work for the county. Tim is our GIS technician. He knows a lot. He knows a lot about planning and zoning. Actually, could really run the planning department. He's got that much knowledge. But he has built a database that is second to none in the state. We have large cities. People from large cities that come in here and look at the database that Tim has built, and they're amazed at the level of the amount of data that we put on maps that will help them decide where they want to build a building or whether they want to locate their business here. And so we're really fortunate to have Tim. We'll go back and see if he's in the room. So right here we have Tim Hansen. I think I just mentioned him, and in the room over there, Tim Hansen is remarkable at what he does. He's a magician. He's like the guy at NASA Control. You know, he's the guy that launches the rockets and makes them land safely. But Tim has built a tremendous database for the city. You know, he is an invaluable individual as we're working with industrial prospects and other people that want to develop or be a part of the Coolidge's development. Tim has a tremendous knowledge of planning and zoning issues. Writes a lot of the staff reports, does a lot of planning and zoning presentations, annexes land like nobody else. He knows all the statutes very well. Really fortunate to have Tim Hansen on our staff here as part of this development team. You know, I think one of Tim's favorite statements, and we like to say that we try to facilitate rather than regulate. We want to help people through the process, and Tim is one of those facilitators, and we're grateful to have him on our staff here.
Thank you.
This is the office of our building official. Our building official is Dennis Gillespie. Dennis has been with the city for a number of years. He's a very talented individual, has great experience in building construction. He really is the whole center of the building division. As you can see, we have files, lots of plans that are in review. If someone wants to come in and pull a permit for something as simple as a carport addition or maybe doing some electrical or mechanical work on their home, we encourage you not to be afraid of coming in here and pulling your permits. But make sure that you're doing it in a manner that's going to be safe for you and your family, for your neighbors. And so we're really here to facilitate and help you with your permitting process, making sure that you're doing these installations in compliance with building safety codes. But Dennis is a very busy man. He's probably out doing inspections today. We have some very large projects going on with the Nikola Motor Company, several large-scale solar projects that are under construction. And you know, to give you a kind of a sense, in 2017, the city processed a little over $5 billion worth of total construction value for the whole year of 2017. So far through April 15th of 2021, just this year, the first, say, quarter, we've processed over $91 million worth of construction valuation. So significant increase. You're seeing it around town with the new builds, the new homes. Nikola Motor Company, as I said, the utility scale solar projects, and a host of other big projects like the multifamily project on Vakayan Road. So this is a very busy department. We do contract out a lot of plan review services through a third-party contractor, Stantec. So we don't take on all of the building inspection and plan review requirements. We couldn't possibly keep up with it, so we do contract those services out to a third party. Right here we have Lindsay. Lindsay is basically our code enforcement officer for the city. She has a great personality. Takes a tremendous skill as a code enforcement officer to approach people, and approach them in a way that, isn't going to make them really offend, isn't going to offend them. But some people, in the community maybe don't keep their properties as well maintained as they should. We oftentimes get complaints here at the city about people, the way they keep their property. Maybe they're not keeping their weeds down. Maybe they got junk cars in their yard. Any number of public nuisance complaints. Lindsay's the face of the code enforcement division here.
They got good hair.
And Lindsay's a great addition to the city. She has a skill that's necessary to work with people. She knows how to be, how to enforce the rules in a manner that is really non-threatening. But there are times when we do have to take people to court. Lindsay appears in those courts in the courtroom to explain to the judge, how a property owner perhaps hasn't complied with the code requirements, even though they've been given lots of opportunities to comply before we get to the court. But she's a very valuable addition to the city. We really want our city to be clean and beautiful. We encourage all of our residents to take pride in their properties, to maintain their weeds, get rid of the weeds, get rid of the junk, put the stuff in backyards so that the general public doesn't have to look at it. But it is very important that we maintain a good and positive image of our city, and Lindsay is part of that effort.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate her and what she does for our city. Another smiling face here in the Development Services Department. We looked at her through the plexiglass while ago, but Brittany is a valuable addition to our Development Services Department. She manages a lot of the phone calls, a lot of the walk-in traffic. This department is kind of interesting. It seems like you get calls from everybody on everything, not just Development Services, but anybody that wants to know anything about the city. They seem to call this department for some reason, but she has a tremendous amount of knowledge. She's from the area, and it's great to have Brittany working for our city as well. Well, here in our Development Services Department, we're dealing with the Director of Development Services. This is Gilbert Lopez. As I mentioned outside, Gilbert Lopez served as a Vice Mayor of the City Council. He was on the City Council for a number of years. While he was working at Glendale, previously worked in Chandler, has a tremendous knowledge about planning and zoning, about building inspection, and most recently has really engaged himself in the economic development activity here for the City of Coolidge. Gilbert, he's just a great pleasure to work with. He's one of my department heads, an essential part of the team. I rely heavily on Gilbert and his knowledge and his advice on how we can make our community a better place for all citizens. And so, Gilbert, you want to say anything?
Yeah, Rick, thank you. And then, of course, we wouldn't be able to do this without a great leader and also support from mayor and council. So that's how the team really functions together. And when we do economic development, Rick and I team up with the other staff, and we're a really effective team to get some of these companies to relocate to Coolidge. And as a council member, that's why I got on the city council, was to bring jobs for young people. And that was back in 1998. So when I had the opportunity to come work here and Rick hired me, it was a great opportunity to do it hands-on, to actually bring all my experiences home from all the places I worked, like Rick said, Pinal County, Chandler, Glendale, and actually make things happen here. And the team is great, so we really have a great team here, and no one person can do it by themselves, so it's the team that gets it done. And then Rick really makes it easy for us, and he supports us, so without that we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So thank you for all your support. We really
Gilbert's homegrown.
Yep.
Coolidge. That's what I love about the people that are here. They're passionate about their community. They're from here. I think that's a valuable trait. Is we have people that are here that really are concerned about how the community is going to progress. Like Gilbert said, creating jobs for our youth. We love people to stay here. We don't want people to leave. We'd like them to stay here, be a part of building a better community, and Gilbert's one of those guys that helps us do that.
So we always thought it'd be nice when people grow up, they don't have to leave town. because everybody either went to Phoenix or Tucson and to get a job if they couldn't work on a farm. And back when I went to high school, the FFA was huge, so everybody worked on farms and things like that, but things changed. Farming is still really important to us. It's part of our community. That's why we have cotton days and everything else, but now we're evolving. We're becoming just a very diverse city, and that's great.
Thank you, Gilbert.
Thank you.
Right over here on this, just south of City Hall on Main Street, right off of Main Street, we have our Public Works yard. This is the Public Works facility. As you can see, the building behind me, this is a very old building that sits along the railroad track here that runs north and south through Coolidge. This is where a lot of our vehicle maintenance is done on all of our street vehicles, our fire trucks. We have our mechanics in here working on all of these vehicles to keep them operational. Again, we try to make the best use of our equipment and keep them maintained and functioning for as long as we can to better preserve the vehicle for a long period, so we're not spending lots of taxpayers' funds on new vehicles. So we really make them last as long as we can. Sometimes we probably make them last longer than we should, like this building. This building has probably lasted way longer than it should. We have purchased a new building. They'll be moving out of this building at the end of June, first part of July, and in a few minutes we'll go over and show you the new building. But let's take a look at what these hard city workers have been working in. This man here is a pretty awesome guy. Zach is over our vehicle maintenance department here. Zach's been with the city how long now?
Going on 9 years.
9 years. Zach's got a lot of knowledge about equipment, about keeping our vehicles functioning the way they should function, that they're going to be safe for the employees that use them. As you can see, we have a couple police vehicles in here right now being serviced. Zach does everything from servicing small vehicles to large pieces of equipment, including our fire trucks. Zach is a tremendous employee who really is conscientious, and he says that he's kind of a little bit
OCD about things.
And which we
Safety,
like.
safety.
Safety is important in Zach's mind and in our mind. We want to keep our employees safe, and nothing more important than having a safe vehicle to drive and to use.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
But as you can see behind us and looking around, this is the shop. It's been here for way longer than Zach's been around.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's this thing just may have another monsoon. It might sustain another monsoon wind, but it won't be very long before this building probably implodes on itself. So really, that's why we have really, I felt this year, and the mayor and council, thanks to them, and they've acquired a new building, the Felix Construction Building. We'll go take a look at that. They'll be moving into that building here very soon. And that'll be a welcome addition.
Thank you, by the way, for that. Thank you.
Thanks for all you do, Zach. We're here in front of the Public Works Department. This is our Public Works Director, Matt Renscher. Matt's another very important part of our management team, one of our directors that works very closely with the rest of the department directors. Rely on Matt. He really is the face of all of the improvements that you're seeing around the city, especially the roadway improvements that have been done. So we appreciate Matt and his efforts and the efforts of his team. Matt has a tremendous responsibility here for the city. He oversees the vehicle maintenance shop that we just looked at a few minutes ago. He oversees the streets crew, that is out right now doing some major street improvements. I think we did about 4.5 miles of street improvements in Coolidge this year. those numbers are going to continue to grow as the city grows. We have a lot to maintain here. Matt's responsible for a lot of the oversight of these improvements that you're seeing around the city. Matt's also responsible for our solid waste, bulk storage yard, bulk handling yard, as well as our wastewater treatment plant. Matt, what else are you responsible for?
Building maintenance. Our building maintenance crew services all of the city-owned buildings. I think we're up to 11 buildings now. So all of the work that I do is in thanks to my staff. I've got a great staff under me. They're all hard workers. They're all really diligent, and we juggle back and forth. If we have somebody that needs help with traffic control or building maintenance, we'll step in. If we have somebody that's out on building maintenance, our liquid waste crew will step in. So we've got a great public works team across the board. So I'm fortunate to be over them.
We very much appreciate the team environment that we have. If any other department needs something from Public Works, they're there. They're helping out. That's the kind of culture that we like to see in our organization. People helping organizations or departments helping departments. And Matt's a true player when it comes to that. So we appreciate all the work that he does. And we're going to go over and take a look at the building that he's going to be occupying here pretty soon. The Felix Construction building, which the city bought under the appraised value. Got a great deal on that building. It's in a great location, right behind the wastewater treatment plant. It's situated next to another piece of land that the city owns. So for future expansion, it'll be positioned in a great location. Matt, thanks for all you do.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to be here.